Also with me is Mike Goldsworthy, Chair of the European Movement UK. Mike, welcome to the show. So, day one, Monday morning of a new government. David Lammy's got the red rose between his teeth on a charm offensive around Sweden, Germany, Poland and overtures over the Irish Sea from Dublin. Do you think this is day one of the long march to rejoin?
I very much hope so. I don't know if it is, but that's certainly what we ultimately want to see at European Movement UK. We think Brexit's been a disaster. It's not good for the economy. It's not good for our businesses, our citizens' rights, or our culture. And so, I mean, wherever this government ends up, the steps that they're taking now, I think people can universally agree that they're sensible and they don't impinge on any big constitutional questions. But yeah, there are many of us in this country who think that Brexit took us into a geopolitically untenable position, and we'd really rather get back with the team.
So, Mike, I can see a glint in your eye there. You must be excited about the prospect of a Sir Keir Starmer government. They say, superficially, they say on the surface, there are no plans to rejoin the European Union. But I think many people watching this show, many people believe that that's not the case. And if we don't have a second referendum, at least not within the next 10 years, we might have something else altogether more sinister, death by 1,000 treaties.
Right. So I don't think that is actually their plans. I think that they came into government a lot more quickly than they were anticipating. They didn't think at the end of 2022 Liz Truss would give them that Ming vase of a massive poll lead. And so they just said, right, we've got to carry this across the ice rink. We are not changing policy here. And also, I don't think they've had the bandwidth to do all of the policies that they would want in this space. And I've heard this from various angles. So, I mean, the most important thing for them immediately is to try and calm things down, make everything stable, and try and get some growth where they can without doing anything too big and intrusive. But clearly, as they go on, and businesses are going to be saying, we want to tear up as much red tape as we can. There will be the younger demographics that do want Erasmus Plus back, or youth mobility schemes, or at least mobility schemes for those people working in Europe in the arts or music. So I think that Labour doesn't have plans to break its red lines. However, there will be huge pressures on those red lines from the population at large.
OK, I think that's a yes. I think that you
what specifically is it? I don't think this government has plans to break its red lines. However, I do think that demands to break those red lines will come on them from the business community, from the citizenry at large, from various different campaigning groups that basically want to open up freedom of travel again, open up free trade again.
Freedom of movement?
Changes again.
Open borders, is that a price you'd be prepared to take? Michel Barnier said if you want a better deal with the European Union, you have to have open borders. Is that worth a price worth paying?
He said free movement. See, we don't have open borders because we're not in Schengen. So all of our borders, you have to show your passport at.
But so free movement of people, Michel Barnier said, would be a price that Britain would have to pay. You think that's a price worth paying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I actively want free movement because it did us so much good. Look, for example, at what happened when we took away free movement. We had the immigration go up, but it was from India and Nigeria. And what rights do we have to go and live and work in India and Nigeria? Maybe we won't.
Many Mike Goldsworthy would agree the Conservatives made a pig's ear of that. I'm afraid, Mike, we have to do that. We simply ran out of time. I have to close the borders on this conversation. Mike Goldsworthy, Chair of the European Movement UK, thank you very much.